Feathers are a feature characteristic of birds. Though also present in some dinosaurs not currently considered to be true birds. They facilitate flight, provide insulation that aids in thermoregulation, and are used in display, camouflage, and signaling. There are several types of feathers, each serving its own set of purposes. Feathers are epidermal growths attached to the skin and arise only in specific tracts of skin, called pterylae. The distribution pattern of these feather tracts, pterylosis, is used in taxonomy and systematics. The arrangement and appearance of feathers on the body, called plumage, may vary within species by age, social status, and sex. Plumage is regularly molted. The standard plumage of a bird that has molted after breeding is known as the non-breeding plumage, or, in the Humphrey Parkes terminology, basic plumage. Breeding plumages or variations of the basic plumage are known under the Humphrey Parkes system as alternate plumages. Molting is annual in most species, although some may have 2 molts a year, and large birds of prey may molt only once every few years. Molting patterns vary across species. In passerines, flight feathers are replaced one at a time, with the innermost primary being the first when the 5th of 6th primary is replaced. The outermost tertiaries begin to drop after the innermost tertiaries are molted. The secondaries starting from the innermost begin to drop, and this proceeds to the outer feathers. Centrifugal molt. The greater primary coverts are molted in synchrony with the primary that they overlap. A small number of species, such as ducks and geese, lose all of their flight feathers at once, temporarily becoming flightless. As a general rule, the tail feathers are molted and replaced starting with the innermost pair. Centripetal molts of tail feathers are however seen in the Phasianidae. The centrifugal molt is modified in the tail feathers of woodpeckers and treecreepers, in that it begins with the second innermost pair of feathers and finishes with the central pair of feathers so that the bird maintains a functional climbing tail. The general pattern seen in passerines is that the primaries are replaced outward, secondaries inward, and the tail from center outward. Before nesting, the females of most bird species gain a bare brood patch by losing feathers close to the belly. The skin there is well supplied with blood vessels and helps the bird in incubation. Feathers require maintenance and birds preen or groom them daily, spending an average of around 9% of their daily time on this. The bill is used to brush away foreign particles and to apply waxy secretions from the uropygial gland. These secretions protect the feather's flexibility and act as an antimicrobial agent, inhibiting the growth of feather-degrading bacteria. This may be supplemented with the secretions of formic acid from ants, which birds receive through a behavior known as anting, to remove feather parasites. The scales of birds are composed of the same keratin as beaks, claws, and spurs. They are found mainly on the toes and metatarsus, but may be found further up on the ankle in some birds. Most bird scales do not overlap significantly, except in the cases of kingfishers and woodpeckers. Quote, "The scales of birds are thought to be homologous to those of reptiles and mammals.